I want to make a couple of comments. In principle, I'm in support for the bill, especially if it does still encourage on-site hosts to still be able to host guests. And I think that now, especially with what's going to be happening with the economy here and the hit on tourism because of the eruption, that's going to be super important to have that. The other thing I want to mention is that I'm a little bit concerned as to the rather large loss in vacation rentals in Lower Puna. There was an awful lot down there. And I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have on the economy up here in East Hawaii. I'm certainly concerned because it means a lot less tourist traffic in Hilo. I mean, it's something that the council should look at. We don't know how many they are, but I can tell you, I've personally now, because I'm involved with the evacuations, and I'm also involved with trying to house some of the evacuees at my farm. Some of these people I'm already running into people directly impacted by the loss of vacation rentals who are basically now unemployed and looking for work. That's something to take into consideration. Because I know the bill currently has a zero growth cap on it for new vacation rentals. That's something you might want to look at to see what is needed in East Hawaii to support the economy here. The last thing I want to see is sort of like, I mean, even though I'm in favor of the bill, is to sort of have this image, cartoon image in the newspaper where you have Pele giving a good kick in the face to the Hawaii economy, and then you've got Bill 108, hitting another kick in the stomach, that kind of imagery. But I do think I think the vacation rental bill is necessary, but take that into consideration what the real impact is now, especially also with the impact of tourism because of the eruption.
My name is Kendra Tidwell, and I wish to speak about Bill 108 and short-term vacation rentals. I proudly work full-time for the county as staff of Councilmember O'Hara, and I urge you to think of me in this as your own staff. I take home about $1,000 per paycheck. I have zero debt and no kids. Until about a month ago, I was living with my boyfriend in Leilani Estates. And 2 weeks ago, the house burnt. Now I'm looking for a rental. Maybe I can get a really funky studio for $800. I should be a landlord's dream. I have a perfect history, great references, solid income. Before, I did rent out a guest room on Airbnb to make ends meet. It was $1,000 a month rent, and I had to share my home with strangers just to live there. So I really appreciate the position that homeowners are in when they want to do a vacation rental. The time to find this balance is now. It was a month ago. I implore all of you to come visit Pahoa. Councilmember Chung stopped by yesterday. He said he's been avoiding it. I wish I could avoid it. I wish I could avoid watching my home burn every day. And I wish I could avoid all my friends becoming homeless. And every beloved hangout spot I've enjoyed for my whole life going forever. So I don't have a solution for you, I'm sorry, but I beg you as your own staff to find one immediately. Maybe there needs to be an incentive to homeowners that do vacation rentals. I don't know, but I think if your staff was in my position, what would you do? What could you do quickly? The answer to these problems is going to show up around Hawaii County, and it already has. There's going to be squatters, there's going to be homeless, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. But thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Regarding, there was a gentleman earlier who mentioned the Kapoho issue and Leilani Estates and all the devastation going on down there. And there's two things that we found important about that. One was, I think it illustrates the overall housing shortage we have, period. So outside of this bill, there's no question there's massive need, immediate term for rehousing people and long term for getting more affordable housing, period, on the island for residents. So We're totally on board with all of those things. But it also does bring up that point the gentleman made, which is we have to have, at some point, a mechanism for adding new rentals. You know, we can sunset things, but circumstances can change, things can happen, consumer demand can change, and we want to have some way of, some process for adding new rentals at some point.